Hello and welcome to Solent Sports News. I'm Callum Bates and here is your 3 o'clock headlines. A massive day for some clubs as they look to get deals over the line to help them with the second half of the season. But here is a little bit of a roundup of some of the most important deals throughout today. Athletic's own David Ornstein has reported Premier League leaders Arsenal have agreed a deal worth $12 million for Italian international Jorginho. He will sign a contract for 2024 plus an option of another year. The medical later today at the Arsenal training ground. This move shuts the door on Brighton midfielder Moses Caicedo. It seems like he's destined to stay at Brighton just for now. And here we are with the transfer expert Jamie to talk about the latest transfer deals.
Well, we move on from Jorginho, the Chelsea midfielder, to Bakayoko in an update on his deal. It was meant to be an end of the season long deal to Cremonese, who are bottom of Serie A, but they have now added on a €4 million transfer release clause at the end of it if they want to buy. We move on to Vitinha, and in a change of things, in a U-turn, Southampton were leading the race with a $30 million buy option, but the player has decided to go for Olympique Marseille as they have also matched the same release clause. Vitinha will join them on a 5-year long deal with another option of an extra year. And Tareem Moffi, who was meant to head towards West Ham today for $26 million, has changed directions and heads to Nice, sticking in Ligue 1. Pedro Porro has now turned around and almost finalised the deals. The player terms have been agreed and we are just waiting on a medical to confirm his transfer. We then move on to Kamaldeen Sulemana, who is heading towards Southampton now, and the fee is closer to €25 million than it was the $22 million. He's a very versatile player, utility player, if you will. He has played 19 games, 9 of those in central attacking midfield, 5 on the right wing, 3 on the left, 2 up front and 1 in CDM, with an average rating of 7.2 across the season. Barcelona are saying goodbye to Hector Bellerin now as he is heading towards Sporting, replacing Pedro Porro, the fellow Spaniard teammate. As Barcelona are struck by the financial fair play rules, they have been looking at Sofran Amrabat, but they can only offer a season-long loan with no option to buy, which Fiorentina are completely trying to deny. However, Amrabat has missed out on training today and is looking to force his way out of the club. Milan Skriniar is an Inter centre-back and has turned around and agreed on a pre-contract agreement to go towards Paris Saint-Germain. There is no agreement for him to join in this January window as it looks as he will finish out his season at Inter. We also move over to the Premier League once again as Marcel Sabitzer is almost agreeing to a deal to Man United. The fee will be in excess of around €20 million and hopefully they can get across the line due to Christian Eriksen's recent injury.
Thank you, Jamie, for all the transfer deals. Following the deal for Jorginho, there has still been no breakthrough for the World Cup young player of the tournament, Enzo Fernandez. Following Chelsea's British record transfer fee, but Chelsea officials have now been sent to Portugal to strike a deal, but Benfica's stance has been clear, €120 million or nothing. As of right now, Chelsea are willing to pay a $120 million release clause, but only in instalments. Chelsea and Morocco winger Hakim Ziyech is close to completing his move from Chelsea to PSG. The only details that need to be discussed is if the move is a loan or a permanent deal. Also, the Moroccan international has already landed in Paris. Joao Cancelo has completed his loan move from Manchester City to Bayern Munich. That move includes an option to buy at the end of the season, which the fee will be around £70 million. This move has occurred following a major bust-up between the Portuguese international and Man City manager Pep Guardiola, after Joao Cancelo got subbed off in the Manchester derby defeat. It will be interesting to see if Man City go out and find a replacement for the Portuguese international. Arsenal women have had a record-breaking bid for Manchester United's Elisa Russo. Russo has had 5 Women's Premier League goals in 9 games. There has been no breakthrough between the two clubs yet, and any deal looks quite unlikely as they are direct rivals and both within 3 points of each other at the top of the league. At this time of the year, fixtures are being called off left, right and centre, and that is no difference for Brockhurst FC. Our team are out there reporting on the scene right now.
So I'm James Plater, I'm part of the performance analysis team down here at Brockhurst Football Club. Brockenhurst Football Club have been severely hampered by extreme weather conditions over the past month. Sub-0 degree temperatures have meant several home games have been postponed following frozen pitches here at Grigg Lane.
Yes, the recent postponements have been quite tough for us. It's a big break in football that we don't need at this sort of level, because when we come back to playing, players will be just still a bit slow coming back and not quite as fit as they should be.
The 19-year-old has urged they need a resurgence to kick-start the remainder of their season.
It'll be vital to hit the ground running when we come back. Players, we're mid-table at the moment, still aiming for pushing for that playoffs places. We have to hit the ground running in order to keep the targets that we set at the start of the season.
James admits that the fixture congestion will cause the club problems. However, with the summer season upcoming, the pitch is hoping to be in fine condition for the end of the season run-in, where Brockenhurst are looking to climb up the Wessex League.
So we're Wessex Prem at the moment, aiming to get promotion, of course. The congestion is going to be tough for us. We will have to delve into our development squad and our under-18s in order to manage this congestion that we face. The pitch right now, in my opinion, is still a little bit soft. We've got a great team of groundsmen here at the club working very, very hard to maintain the state of the pitch and luckily get us back to playing.
But, most importantly, the community. The Badgers supporters are really looking forward to the resumption of football with their next home game here tonight against Blackfield and Langley.
It'll be amazing for the village. We're a tight-knit community down here at Brockenhurst. You see it every weekend with the first team playing. We've always got a crowd, even with the youth team, whether it be friends of the players, parents of the players, everyone comes down. As I said, very tight-knit community.
Thanks, Callum. I'm here at Brockenhurst Football Club with head performance analyst James Plater. Tonight, Brockenhurst face Blackfield and Langley in the league. What are your thoughts ahead of this, James?
It's going to be a very tough game. They are quite a few spaces below us in the table, so it is one that we definitely can't underestimate. Coming to the back of it, not on the best of form for ourselves, and obviously with the issues that we've been having recently, it is definitely a game that we have to win, and we have to get back to winning ways today.
So on Saturday, the team returned, losing 2-1 unfortunately to Hamble. Following the break, what's your sort of plan to bounce back, and how important is overcoming the setback?
Yeah, the game against Hamble unfortunately didn't go to plan. Very, very tough opposition to face, home all the way. Unfortunately, we faced them here at home and didn't quite give the fans what they wanted. So tonight we'll be eagerly looking forward to getting back to winning ways, fingers crossed, and giving the village and the fans everything they want to see and putting a good performance.
Fortunately, the cold sort of period is over now, and the pitch is looking a bit better. What will it mean to the village of Brockenhurst to be able to come out and support the boys, and how much have they missed for football? And also, is the pitch ready to play?
Yeah, the pitch is definitely ready to play. Groundsmen have been working incredibly hard over the festive period to get the pitch back to the conditions that we need them to be to play. The village have missed the football, I know that for a fact. They're always down in their numbers to support the boys, whether that be the development squad or the under-18s or the first team.
Thanks, James. That's all from us. Back to the studio.
The FA Cup fixtures for the fifth round draw have now been drawn. There are a few big teams that are crashing out. In the fourth round, we saw Manchester City knock out Premier League leaders Arsenal. Liverpool, the former holders of the FA Cup, also lost their fourth round tie 2-1 to Brighton. Red hot Man United are still in the competition and face West Ham at home after they won 2-0 last night against Derby County. However, the most notable fixture is Southampton against Luton Town. If Luton and manager win against Grimsby in their replay, Southampton boss will face his former club Luton in a ferocious tie. Championship side Bristol City will host the Premier League champions Manchester City. Tension builds as we edge closer to the Southampton's clash with Newcastle in the Carabao Cup semi-final second leg. Saints are without Juan Larios, Alex McCarthy, Valentino Livramento and potentially Moussa Djenepo after he was taken off in the first leg after being clattered by Nick Pope and is yet to return to action. Nathan Jones' side are trailing 1-0 in the tie so far, but he claims despite the league position that they will go into the game aggressive and going after the win. and striker Sakumara says the team are confident they can get the job done ahead of the semi-final. Newcastle have the trio of John Joe Shelvey, Emil Kraft and former Saints player Matt Target absent. Eddie Howe's side are flying at the moment, as they're not only continuing their pursuit of the Champions League football next season, but they have their sights on Wembley and bringing home some silverware to St James's Park. Now a rising star in pool, our team caught up with Joe Ham on one of the young and up-and-coming players in the growing sport.
English pool is becoming one of the most popular sports in the country, despite being around for centuries. Southampton has multiple venues across the city, perfect for the casual and the serious player. Solent sports reporter Jamie Hale travelled to one of the venues, Rocket Ronnie's, to speak with a certain up-and-coming star.
Hello, my name is Joe. I've been playing pool for about 3 years now. One of the best memories is winning a big money match. £250 a man, won that quite convincingly 15-9. So, bit of money, mate.
Not just for pool, but for any sport, young children are glued to the TV watching their favourite players compete. For Joe, it's someone he's only met recently that gives him inspiration to be better.
Oh, of course. Players like yourself, Ronnie O'Sullivan. You know, all idols of mine, especially you, mate, especially you, Jamie. You're too good. Yeah, of course. I mean, in any sport, there's certain people that you look up to and aspire to be like.
Amongst other semi-professional pool players, Joe can be seen as a late bloomer, only beginning to play 3 years ago. But he possesses the talent and mental toughness of someone who has been playing for 13.
I wouldn't say that I've got the best natural talent. I tend to, you know, work very hard at things that I'm interested in. I would say that because I've got somewhat of an obsessive personality, I tend to, you know, dedicate myself wholly to my passions, and because of that I tend to see quite quick progress over time. So nothing different with pool. I dedicated many hours to the game when I first started playing. People around here can attest to the fact that I was rubbish to begin with, but then over a very short period of time I tended to get a little bit better.
For every athlete in the world, an end goal is important. It's something for them to drive and to work towards throughout their career. But for Joe, that's not so much.
I don't believe in end goals, really. I believe very much that we should be, you know, proud but not satisfied in terms of progress, and just to be the best that I can be.
Jamie Hale, Solent Sports News.
A long-standing community in Southampton, the Shirley Darts League has been around for decades. Our team on Tap Sports went down to speak to some of the folks who have kept the league running down for years.
Darts, the pub and booze. 3 things that come hand in hand. We went to a local darts league match taking place in Shirley, Southampton at the Rover. Over the past couple of years, darts has continued to increase in popularity across the UK. We wanted to learn more about what it's like playing in a local pub team and how you can get involved.
I'm secretary of the Fremantle and Shirley District League, which is now the Southampton and District Men's Invitation League. I've been running it now like 25 years. And the guy before me, unfortunately, he's dead now, Ken Jones. He was running it probably 30 years before me.
It's very well known league already, been run over 30 years, so it's common knowledge. It used to be in the papers, in the Daily Echo, so it used to be pushed that way. Now it's on mainstream media, and word of mouth keeps the league going now.
We've got 2 divisions, Premier Division and a First Division. How's it been going so far?
Halfway through the season.
Yeah, halfway through the season
at the moment, and all leagues are still in contention. So it's a very open league. Lots of opportunities for teams to still make their way in the league. So
we also spoke to the team captain of Nursing Club, another local darts team, to find out how long he's been playing darts and how he got into it.
I've been playing darts for, well, now 60 years. How long have I been at the club now? 40 years. I've been a member of the club, Nursing Club. Started playing darts then, and I've gradually, over the years, I took over, and that was it, you know. But
The Southampton and District Men's Invitational League are also holding a darts event for charity in a couple of weeks.
On the 12th of February, we're holding a darts competition, which is a £300 guaranteed first prize for the men and 150 for the ladies. And it's all to do with a charity called the Warm Room. They invite all the homeless people, anybody that can't keep warm, to come in and have a bowl of soup, cup of tea, a chat and meet with everybody. And it's a new charity which has only just started. So,
for the social side or for the playing side, darts is a really good sport to get together with people and have some fun.
Massive breaking news in the terms of the European Super League. Promoters of the European Super League have now won their appeal, which now means all Super League clubs cannot be punished by UEFA or FIFA. This was granted after the European Super League formed in April 2021. We will get more as this story develops. Is this the most decorated university basketball team in England? Sobar Sports speaks to Patrick Adedeji of the Solent Kestrel.
The Solent Kestrels have not only become one of the most successful teams in university basketball, but are here to take over. The club has many values to it and holds them with great pride, which has contributed to the team's triumphs. Point guard Patrick Adedeji spoke to us on what it takes to play your part for the Kestrels.
It's definitely working hard. In practice, work hard every day. It's also like a family-oriented club, so everyone gets along with each other. So it's about being a good character person, also just working really hard in training.
Over the last 5 years, the trophy cabinet has really filled up. The way the team plays has had a big part in how they win matches, as well as what happens off the court.
What do you put the achievements of this club down to? Like any key components of team successes in the recent years?
I'd say it's just how cohesive we are as a unit. We stick together a lot. At the earlier start of the season, we were just figuring things out, but we've got in our groove now, and I feel like that's just down to just us gelling as a team. So I think it's just camaraderie between teammates.
Recently, Solent have won the Bucks Super 8s in 2017 and 2018, as well as winning the National Cup back in 2020.
The team just went on a remarkable run. We had a couple of guys here, they've obviously left us from last year, but yeah, it was just a group of guys, very talented guys, and just they were playing with each other for a couple of years, so it showed. That's why they were so successful.
However, the biggest achievement of them all was when the team were crowned champions of the NBL Division 1 last season. This meant a whole lot, not only for the team, but also for the university too.
Everton have now confirmed the appointment of Sean Dyche on a short-term contract. It has been widely reported that the higher-ups at Everton had interviewed former Leeds manager Marcelo Bielsa as well as Sean Dyche for the job, but it was the former Burnley manager that came out on top. The Toffees sacked Frank Lampard last week after a terrible run of form, leaving them 19th in the Premier League and under serious threat of relegation for the second season running. Dyche spent 10 years at Burnley as an admired figure on his pragmatic style and in entertaining press conferences. The Six Nations will be kicking off at this weekend as Wales take on Ireland in the opener on Saturday. Ireland are currently the favourites for this year's edition of the tournament, with last year's champions France close behind them, after they achieved the Grand Slam, beating every nation. No team has ever won back-to-back Grand Slams, a feat France will be hoping to achieve. England are going into a tournament with a different coach from last year, Steve Borthwick, taking the helm for the Lions in mid-December after a poor run of form under the former coach Eddie Jones. That's all for today. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Solent Sports News and check back in with us next week for more sports news and exclusives.